How's it going, friends? Welcome to my video. Today, I want to show you a checkmate called the ladder checkmate. The ladder checkmate is a situation like this where you have a queen and a rook fighting against the king, and you want to avoid just random checks like going rook check or queen check or something like that. What you want to do is have some cohesion between the rook and the queen. So we will start with rook b6 check, and rook b6 check attacks the king, but more importantly, or as important, the king cannot go down because of the queen. The king cannot go sideways because of the rook, so the king has to go up. And then we leave this rook here and go queen a7 check. And the idea is that once again, the king cannot go down because of the rook this time, and the king cannot go sideways because of the queen. So then when the king moves, we have rook to b8 checkmate. It can also work if the queen and the rook are kind of on opposite sides. We go rook a6 check. Again, the king cannot go down because of the queen. And then we basically alternate pieces. The queen goes, and then rook goes, and that is checkmate. Now, sometimes we're going to have to implement kind of a reorientation, which is basically where we follow the strategy. We go rook a5 check, because the queen is behind, defending those squares. We go queen h6, but the king gets a little bit close to the rook. If we go rook a7, they will capture. So what do? Well, we have to learn to pivot, or aka reorient, which is where we're going to move the rook to the g5 square. No, I moved to g5. I didn't go here because that would kind of mess up the cohesion of the queen and the rook. So I went rook g5 and then go rook g7 and checkmate. This will actually help us with the two rooks, because ladder checkmate can also be with two rooks rather than just queen and rook. Like in this instance, we go check and checkmate. But what if the king gets close enough to the rooks? Like we go check and then check. Then after king c7, if we go rook a7, then the rook gets captured. Well, we're going to reorient our rooks. We will move one rook to the h6 square and the other rook to the g6 square. Sorry, g5 square. And then we'll be able to check and checkmate. King c7, check, and then we get checkmate. Last, I want to show an example for my game. This is a game I played. I'm completely winning. It's bullet, but I have to figure out how to win the game. I have the rooks connected, so I just push my b pawn. And then eventually, after king d5, I remember my rook's protected, so I go check, and check, and check, and check, and checkmate. Note that the queen and rook alternated moves, and we got the checkmate.